Yo, peace, what up? Yo, you got the RZA right here with Jules. We're about to go into a live interview. He's going to ask the questions. I'm going to get the answers right here. Wu-Tang Forever. Bong, bong.
1993 exoticness. You know what I'm saying? Let's get technical.
The RZA, how are you?
Peace, I'm good, I'm great. You know what I mean? Bong, bong.
Welcome, Paris. I know you already came a few times, but it's a nice place.
It's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
Every time I come here, it's always like a good memory. Brought my wife with me. We've been here a few times before. Just, you know, Paris is one of the coolest cities in the world.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the coolest cities in the world.
My name is Jules Marfring. I'm a French independent journalist, and I'm honored to get some time to talk with you today. My first question, what's up since this Prince Rakim era?
You mean what's up since then? You mean like how I changed since then?
Yeah, like we know that your whole life changed, but like, how are you, you know?
I'm great, yo. I mean, you think about, Prince Rakim, I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I think when the record came out, I was maybe 20, going on 21. You know, it didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, what can you do from failure? Can you learn from failure? Yeah.
Exactly.
I learned from failure. I learned how to sharpen my sword. I learned how to take my sword out of its sheath. That's why you watch Protect Your Neck video, the first thing you see is me taking the sword out of the sheath. And then I know how to swing my sword. You know what I mean? And my lyrical tongue and my ideas. And once I did it my way, nothing could stop me. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's how it is. You got to do it your way. Because your way sometimes is the way.
Yeah, that's right. And sometimes you have to start with some fails to grow.
Yeah, of course. You know, plants grows in fertilizer. Fertilizer comes from shit.
Yeah, that's right. Can you tell me about this documentary, Wu-Tang Experience? We're here tonight in Paris for this event.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm delighted to share the film with the French audience, and it's going to be in cinemas, and so that's really cool. Because this particular documentary is a capturing of Wu-Tang Clan, the Colorado Symphony Orchestra, a Shaw Brothers film, 36 Chambers, and the music from our catalog with the DJ Mathematics and DJ Skane all coming together to give one experience. And those type of elements don't normally synchronize in live performance. Like you go watch a movie, okay, that's the movie. You go watch an orchestra, that's the orchestra. You go watch a movie with an orchestra. They do that now at the Hollywood Bowl. But can you get the movie, the orchestra, and the rappers, you know what I mean, and the DJ, all right? Now you got a trick, all right? And so it was a challenge to do it. We figured it out. We did it. We captured it. And now we made a cinema film out of it. But one of the other things real quick that was important was that in the classical world, a lot of the classical world of the past generation didn't respect hip hop as a music or as an art form. I mean, as a musical form, shall I say. It was just like, oh, it's just a bunch of samples. But this generation of classical musicians, they actually listen to Wu-Tang. They listen to hip hop. They listen to Nas and Cypress Hill. And they actually have the translative minds to play those lines that we are sampling. And so, you know, we got the right orchestra. We got Christopher Dragon, the right conductor. And we let our guards down for each other. And we captured this moment in time. And to capture it at one of the most beautifulest venues, the Red Rock. I don't know if you ever been there, bro. Well, when you see this film, we got great drone shots. Like you could tell, it's amazing. Just even not being there, the way we directed the film, me and my partner GB, Joe Barclay, we made sure we had 6-7 cameras. We used like a sports. Like I said, I want to use the camera that the football players use.
Yeah, okay.
So we did the zip line cameras, and this way you really capture all of this energy, and it looks really great.
Okay. Is there one scene or one song that we can listen to in the documentary that is like more important to you, like that can make you can give you more emotions,
I mean, there's various songs that gives you the emotions in this documentary. There's like I said, the documentary, there's also a film that's playing. And so the emotions of the film is being captured by the music as well. So one of my favorite scenes of the documentary is Method Man coming out, playing his song "Bring the Pain."
All right, okay.
But when he does it at the moment that the sample that starts his album off.
Okay.
So on his album To Cal, there's a sample that starts the whole album off. And the movie that I sampled it from is now playing in the background.
Okay.
And so when the guy says that, you want to fight? Man to man, 1-to-1. And it comes in, Bring the Pain, it's like, oh shit. It's
Okay.
like, you're watching the Kung Fu fight, you're watching Method Man. And then the other big exciting moment for me as well is, of course, when we do Triumph. When you see us performing Triumph, and the hero is fighting the villain on the screen, and all this energy is coming together, and the way we edited the film is just, you're gonna feel adrenaline, bro.
Okay.
You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel like you at the concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm asking, like, how's your vision about music and maybe the legacy you want to deliver? Did evolved since the 36 chamber era till now?
Yeah, my vision of music is always evolving because I'm evolving as a musician.
And as a man?
Yeah, as a man, as living his life. But think about when I made 36 Chambers, I couldn't tell you what a C note was. And now I can write a whole symphony.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But at the end of the day, also when I made 36 Chambers, I never been to Paris.
Yeah.
Okay? I never been to Italy or Africa, you know what I mean, or South America. I never been there when I made that music. Now I've traveled the world, you know what I mean, and my compassion artistically for the world shows up even more in my artistic expressions. So even this particular film, you getting the chance to see me take a challenge. And the challenge is me and my Wu-Tang brothers being able to coexist and perform with 60 other musicians that's not from our discipline. And sometimes people think classical musicians are stiff.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. But it's like, nah, everybody fell into the groove. And the orchestra, what they did that's kind of cool for me, they didn't wear their orchestra uniforms. They all wore Wu-Tang hoodies.
Yeah. That's fire.
Yeah, so it's cool. And that's part of that evolution of us, the evolution of music itself, and the evolution of culture, which we strive to represent that and bring that forth.
Okay. I learned a lot about you and the Wu-Tang. When I was watching the series that was on Amazon, that's a must to see. Like, every hip-hop fan needs to see this series because it shows us, like, the first days before the Wu-Tang until, like, the boom, And I wanted to know, how did you participated to this series? Or maybe, the actor that plays your character?
Ashton Sanders?
Yeah, exactly. Do you think that he represented well you when you was this age and at this era?
I mean, I chose him.
All right.
I'm the creator of that show, so my participation is I helped write it.
Yeah.
I directed some of it as a filmmaker, and I produced it. So a lot of it was my choice. And what I could say about Ashton is his eyes and artistic ambition was what I had.
Okay.
I saw him in a movie called The Equalizer Part 2. And when I saw him in that movie, I was like, oh, this guy can actually play the young RZA. Because at the same time, I was writing my series. And when I saw it, I said I want to have a meeting with him. And so we met. And he's from LA, though. He's not from New York.
Yeah.
But I saw that the introspect, artistic introspect that he had, and to be quite honest, if I could speak on him as a person, he has a leadership quality amongst his peers. You know what I mean? And I don't know if because he already been Oscar nominated or whatever, but a lot of the other young actors were kind of willing to follow him. You know, so that was kind of interesting. Yeah.
Okay. What is the biggest lesson of life that the Wu-Tang Clan taught you? And out of those moments, you know, that you learned during this era?
I could say this to you. It's a lot of personalities in Wu-Tang. It's a lot of us.
Yeah.
And we call ourselves the Wu-Tang Brothers. And so when you got a lot of brothers, you got a lot of different opinions, a lot of alpha. Nobody in Wu-Tang is a sucker. Everybody in Wu-Tang could knock a motherfucker out, okay? Very strong men. And how do you get all that strength to focus into one energy, to one focal point? And that's going to take trust. That's going to take foresight, and that's going to take someone with a vision to have a true understanding of the vision in order to take everyone else to where you see. Right? So I've learned that that's very possible. Right? I learned that men from any walk of life, if the reality is there, clear in your eyes, other men will allow you to lead them to it.
Okay.
Right? So it's not that you are a leader, right? You become what we call the best knower. You know what I mean? You know. Like I knew that there was water over there. This guy wanted to go here, he wanted to go here, he wanted to go here. I said, no. I could see it, but they can't see it. But I was always a good brother to them, so they trust that if he said he could see it, we believe he can see it. Let's go his way.
Okay. You know, you are probably the biggest producer of the history. Have you ever heard about, you know, the sounds that have frequencies, you know, hertz frequencies? Mm-hmm. I want to know your opinion about that, because I don't hear a lot of big people that knows the producing and this type of stuff that talk about that. I think it's important. I want to know your opinion about that. Did you already have used, you know, some frequencies?
So, you know, they got different frequencies, whether, you know, tune to 450 or 460 or 440. You know, all these different tunes you could tune your instrument to. Some of it, they say, give you dark energy. Some of it says give you positive light energy, right? But I would say this. I think Method Man said in one of his lyrics, Wu-Tang Clan be attacking your emotions, right? So emotions can translate through music. This is why you hear certain songs and the artists can make you feel the love, you know, they can make you feel the anger, you know, you can feel the aggression of Bruce Springsteen, you know, you can feel the one love of Bob Marley, you know, you can feel the bring the motherfucking ruckus from Wu-Tang, you know what I mean? You can feel the craziness of ODB. You can feel it, right? So these are all vibrations. Now, can you measure all of that on a scale? I think you can. Has it been? I don't think so. So I would say that, yes, there's a mathematical formula that exists in music that has been tested and has been proven to control the emotions and the emotional state of a listener. Like they say now, all this low frequency is dragging us to a low key. Like that's why they say low key was known as a trickster god and everything is low key, right? But I would say though, the artist who is in tune with himself and in tune with the music can actually bring any emotion to you. And since there's so many beautiful artists out there, if one is bringing you down, turn to the one that's bringing you up. You know, my wife is a witness that I would play a very dark song that would bring me down to almost the tears. And to get back out of that state, I would put on Sizzler. Sizzler got a song called Solid as a Rock. And I put that back on and I'm back up. You can't stop me now. Like, it's just like, and that's what music can do for us.
Okay. What is the most important song of the Wu-Tang, in your opinion?
That I don't have the answer for. I say the most important song of Wu-Tang is what's important to the listener at the time he's going through it.
That's what I'm saying, like not, the most streamed or the most big for the fans, but the most important to the people, maybe the one that can help the people the most.
It depends on the state that the person is in though, right? So, but there are songs that were made directly for inspiration. Look, here's a song that wasn't even, it's not a popular Wu-Tang song. It wasn't even on the American album. It was only on the European album.
Yeah.
It's called Sun Shower.
Yeah.
So you listen to Sun Shower where it says trouble follows behind a wicked mind. You could have 20/20 vision of light but still be blind if you lack the inner. So you got to have inner light. Buddha taught that your worst enemy couldn't harm you as much as your own wicked thoughts. So these lyrics are in there.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many lyrics that one of us Wu-Tang brothers would say, like on Cream, Inspector Deck is giving you the journey of a 22-year-old man. 22 long, hard years. I'm still struggling. Survival got me bugging, but I'm alive on arrival. And so he says, I feel depressed, and that's why I smoke cess. But I'm still depressed. So it's like, well, drugs is not the answer. So he's ready to give up. What do he do? He seeks his mom's. And she explained that working hard can help you maintain, to learn to overcome the heartaches and pains. So our lyrics are full of that. After laughter come tears. You know what I mean? We're constantly giving you something that you can absorb based on whatever you're going through at that time.
Okay. This is going to be the end of this interview. Can I get a last word?
Well, let me say this. I'm really happy to bring this film, The Wu-Tang Experience, to France, to the cinema. You don't have to just stream it. You could go watch it on cinema. And then I'm also very proud. This is me taking some self promotion here.
Yeah.
But I'm very proud that my new film, feature film called One Spoon of Chocolate, is going to find its way to the theaters in January.
Okay.
And I think it's a artistic masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rizla. Thank you.
Bless these.
Yeah. Thank you. This one is an original. I already met Inspector. That one too. Like when I was in New York. Mm-hmm. Those ones are just crazy. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, bro.